Hey, me Matt here. This is Killer Kyle. Today's episode is going to be a little different. We're just going to do random about different topics.
Yeah.
We want to talk about the CM Punk trial with the doctor guy, the whole... Dr. Amon. Talking about Kevin Owens and why he's becoming the new CM Punk, I guess. That's what you like to talk about today.
Oh, well, I thought of, maybe talking about all-time best heels in wrestling. You had said maybe do, faces and heels, a top 10 kind of thing. I thought about also Undertaker, our favorite matches of his, or favorite moments of involving him of some kind. And just kind of going off of that. It'll kind of just be mishmash.
Yeah, that'll be sort of interesting. So, yeah. Wheels of Fury, coming at ya. So, we're gonna start off our show, I guess, with our favorite Undertaker matches. I know that he came back out of retirement at WrestleMania this year to take on John Cena. Thought maybe it would be an interesting idea. I don't know if we've done this before, but we can give it a shot.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think one of my favorite Undertaker matches was probably the first one I saw. It kind of scared the crap out of me at one point. There was when he took on Kamala.
Oh, yeah.
At SummerSlam. Undertaker and Kamala had a really interesting feud. And there was one point where Kamala would go up on the top rope and do, I don't know how many headbutts it was. And by the last one, Taker rose up and scared the shit right out of me as a kid.
Yeah.
But it was a pretty interesting feud that they had back then.
Yeah, and to think, you got a guy the size of Kamala that's basically running roughshod over everybody, and he ends up crossing paths with The Undertaker. And I think because Kamala hadn't seen anybody like Undertaker, being from Uganda, it threw him off.
Yeah, and I think the thing is, Kamala was one of those individuals that, once again, you're looking at somebody that never got a title in WWF. Now, Mid-South, I'm not sure about that, or wherever else he was.
Yeah.
But just another interesting character in the WWF that kind of... I wish they would have did something more with him, but I know that they turned him face not long after that, and that was interesting, and after that, he kind of just dropped off altogether.
Basically, yeah. For me, one match that I remember seeing as early teenager was a match that I hadn't seen before. The concept was unique, and just having two big guys, in a ring while all of this is going on really made the whole perception of the match impressive. Not only you have two really big guys in the ring duking it out and doing normal stuff, but having what else is happening as the match is going on really made you go, wow. Like, the match itself was amazing. Just the extra stuff that was involved in the match really made it memorable. And of course, Undertaker and his feud with Kane, that saga was just amazing. And they had some really good matches against each other. But the one match that particularly sticks out in my mind, I believe it was on a Monday Night Raw. I don't remember where it was. It was probably like New Jersey, or it was somewhere in the United States, but it was Kane and Undertaker in an Inferno match.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was an interesting match. And to see Kane get caught on fire was pretty cool. It was one of those times where the Attitude Era was getting better and better.
Yeah.
And better matches were to come with that. And the Inferno match was pretty awesome. And to think those two guys being put in that ring with no oxygen, you know, and I don't know, very hot in there.
I'm sure it would have been hot as hell.
Yeah, exactly. And just kind of, you know, a shame that they don't bring it back now. Although, didn't Kane and Bray Wyatt have one of those matches?
Yeah, but see, here's the thing. The Inferno match was, you get in the ring, you wrestle each other, you body slams, superplexes, and all this other stuff, and just watching the flames go higher and higher. The premise of it, though, was you win the match by setting your opponent on fire. Literally. What they did with Bray Wyatt and Kane was essentially the same concept, only thing is, you didn't need to set your opponent on fire to win the match. Essentially, the fire was there as, like, a barricade, more or less.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan were still with Bray Wyatt, so they came up with this idea. They basically call it Ring of Fire, and have the ring surrounded by fire to essentially ward off Eric Rowan and Luke Harper from getting involved in the match, even though they found a way to get involved in the match.
I know, that was the stupidest thing I've ever encountered. I thought this was going to be cool, like it was back in Kane and Undertaker time.
Yeah.
But there was a way to fuck it up, and I'm pretty sure Johnny Cash was rolling in his grave. And that's the problem with WWE nowadays. But we'll get to that soon.
Yeah.
I'll say this, for me, I think another one of my favorite matches, and I mentioned this before when we did our Backlash series, Kane and Undertaker versus the two-man power trip.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and Triple H, winner take all. And,
yeah.
that was the shit. back then. And I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed looking at those titles. And to have them being in the spotlight like that really was awesome. I mean, Austin and Triple H won.
Yes.
So, seeing them come out the next night with all the gold was pretty cool. You know.
And the thing about it too is very rarely in wrestling in general, and I'm talking about NXT, Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan, so on and so forth, do you see one wrestler or a tag team, let's say, with more than one championship?
Exactly.
It's almost like it's not really a no-no, it's just something that I think takes a certain caliber of wrestler to be able to pull off.
Austin Aries. Yeah, I can understand that.
Because, like, it has happened. The amount of times that it has happened, though, is, like, really very minimal.
Yeah.
You can probably count maybe on one hand, if not both.
Mm-hmm.
The number of times that it happened, I mean, okay, you had Austin and Triple H with the Intercontinental Championship, the Heavyweight Championship, the tag titles. You had Jay Lethal and Ring of Honor with the World title and I think the television title.
Mm-hmm.
You had, at least just two examples offhand. I'm sure there's more, but probably take quite amount of time to think about it.
Yeah, so
another match for me that stands out in my mind is the way the match went, the way the match ended was, like, the match itself was really good. The way it ended was like, okay, that's an expected finish, but the aftermath of the way the match ended was pretty cool. It was, I think, Unforgiven 99, maybe 97, somewhere in there. Mankind and Undertaker and the Buried Alive match.
oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Undertaker and Mankind have had a lot of awesome matches.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Whether it be Buried Alive or Broiler. And
The Boiler Room Brawl, yeah.
what did you like about the Buried Alive match?
Well, just the concept of the match itself. And I mean, Undertaker and Mankind just would brutalize the crap out of each other anytime they wrestled each other.
Yeah.
But then you've got, like, Triple H, Goldust, maybe Justin Hawk Bradshaw, Mysterious Masked Dude, probably, I think they call him the Punisher or something like that. There's various other wrestlers come out to help Mankind bury the Undertaker alive.
Yeah.
But then, as this is going on, there is thunder going on, and lightning, and they're, of course, shoveling dirt in a big hole that they dug. And then at the end of it, everybody just kind of takes off away from the gravesite. And then you see Undertaker's hand come up
Oh yeah, okay.
in front of the tombstone. It's like, oh, that's wicked.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that part.
Yes.
Well, like I said, speaking of Undertaker and McFoley or Mankind, you have Undertaker and Mankind at the most infamous match of all, 1998 King of the Ring, Hell in a Cell.
Yep.
And the fact of the matter is, you had no idea how much of a badass motherfucker Mankind was.
Oh.
Mick Foley was. I mean, this guy almost died, basically.
He took a whooping that
I
night.
mean, he fell not only off the cage, but through the cage.
Well, he didn't really fall off the cage. Taker threw his ass off the cage.
Well, that's true, yeah.
Come here.
I mean, you talk about Shane McMahon a couple weeks ago. Mick Foley was basically the first guy, well, maybe not the first guy, but that I knew of that put himself in harm's way. I mean, Mick Foley, you can't count the list of injuries that he's had.
Oh, God.
And you look at this match, Undertaker throws him off the cage,
Through a table,
and has that look of concern while staying in character. Like, holy shit, I just killed a wrestler.
Shit.
But little did he know that Terry Funk and the MTs would like bring him on a stretcher and try to
Get him the hell out of there.
Of course, he gets up and fucking beelines it back up the cage. And then, of course, the rest is history.
They start going at each other more on top of the cage. And what happens next? Chokes them on the roof. So the section of the roof gives way. He falls some 20, 25 feet, whatever it is, onto the canvas. It gives way. And not only that, but when Mick Foley, Mankind, first initially came out for the match, he comes out with a steel chair, tosses it up on the roof, and climbs up the roof to start the match with The Undertaker. Well, little did he realize, where the chair was where he got choke slammed, and the chair comes down, whack, right in the face, knocks out a tooth, and shoves it up his nose.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you talk about one tough son of a bitch. Foley, man, I tell you.
Mad respect.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
And I mean, not just that night in Hell in a Cell, but I mean, you, of course, talk about the Boiler Room Brawl match, and just hardcore matches he had, and other things that he did, and the shit he put his body through.
Oh, yeah.
Falling on concrete and getting bashed in the head repeatedly with steel chairs and all this other stuff. Makes you wonder how that man still has proper functionality.
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, just amazing. Another match that just came to mind, well, essentially another Buried Alive match. This one, though, took place on SmackDown 99, 2000, something like that. It was, I believe, a tag Buried Alive match. It was, I think, Undertaker and Big Show against Mankind, and I don't remember who his partner was.
It wasn't Kane.
No.
Austin?
Might have been. The match itself was pretty good. You got the shovels involved and stuff like that. The one particular thing that really stands out in my mind about this match is you got Big Show and Mankind fighting on the stage, and in one motion, Big Show grabs Mankind and hurls him through the air and into the gravesite.
So, we talked about the Undertaker's greatest matches, and I think next week, we talked about it earlier when we were outside. We're gonna do top baby faces and top heels in professional wrestling. Well, yeah. And when I say heels, I don't mean people who cheer them, you know, like Austin or The Rock. I mean, like, the heels that were hated all throughout. Like, everybody hated them.
Like, pretty much wrestlers who made a career out of being a heel.
Yeah, and then, you know, same with baby faces.
Yes.
So, now, I was on the computer and I saw, I can't remember, it was on a website, and it was a rumor, so obviously I don't know how true it is, but
Yeah.
Vince McMahon apparently has issues with Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, whatever you want to fucking call him now. Now, this kind of irritates me because it's the same bullshit he had with Jim Cornette.
Yeah.
Apparently, Vince McMahon is unhappy that Kevin is overweight. Stupid.
Well, you look at it, and if you were to take Kevin Owens for right now and compare him to Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
I'd say Kevin's probably maybe 20 pounds lighter now than he was in Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Because, like, right now he's 265, 266. I think in Ring of Honor he was probably close, like 270,
Yes.
275 maybe.
I can't remember what other promotion it was. He was a lot skinnier.
Yeah,
That might
that's
have
when
been
he
one.
was, like,
Yeah.
the independent scene, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, wearing, like, clean-shaven baby face and had that Michael Cole-esque bright orange singlet.
Yeah. It just irritates me because you look at a guy like Kevin Owens and he's basically a Triple Crown champion. Although I don't think he's been a tag team champion yet, but
No, that thing or we were both looking at, it says pretty much held every title
yeah, okay.
except for the WWE title.
That's
He's
right.
been Universal Champion, he's been Intercontinental Champion, he's been United States Champion. I'm pretty sure he was a tag champion with Jericho, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Look at it this way, and you think, okay, so weight bothers you when you have guys like the Natural Disasters and Kamala, Big Van Vader,
Big Boss Man,
Big Boss Man,
Hakeem, Big Show, Mark Henry.
They're not necessarily, well, Mark Henry, yeah. But I mean,
like Big Show, 500-pound Big Show.
oh, okay.
King Kong Bundy.
And the guy,
Andre the Giant,
Yes.
and countless others.
the guy that you made WWF champion, Yoko fucking Tsuno.
Exactly.
So, you're telling me that, and see, this is what really pisses me off, and I mean, it's been known, Kevin Owens has been bugged. He's not really that fat.
No.
In fact, I think he's my age, so I look at him, and maybe he's a little bit smaller than I am, but still. The fact of the matter is, Kevin Owens is, you know, and it's not just him. It's like the WWE has been picking on the indie guys for a while. We have Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, who came down, again, another Grand Slam champion.
Yeah.
The guy that they said, alright, we'll put the WWE title on here, since everybody likes it so much.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna have Randy Orton cash in his money in the bank, and Triple H is gonna turn on you. Yeah, fuck you.
Exactly.
And then, of course, he, you know, it was a back and forth. You have WrestleMania 30. The guy fucking is told to go against Triple H, and if he wins, then he gets to go face Randy Orton and Batista at the main event. Well, after his match with Triple H, they beat the shit out of him.
More or less.
So, the main event happens, Triple H comes out once again. You know, talk about somebody that is a very good heel. You got Triple H right there. Oh, I hated him so fucking much back then.
Yeah.
The fact of the matter is, and then you get guys like CM Punk. Now we'll get to that in a minute, but CM Punk, fucking guy who gets to be the longest WWE champion, never got the main event spotlight.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, I don't know. I look back and I think that he was important. Like, he basically, yeah, I think he definitely was around a lot. He was the guy, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the way he made it out, he was like still a mid card when he had the WWE title. So,
Yeah. I mean, CM Punk always wanted to push himself to be the best. And just keep raising the bar, raising the level of his in-ring skill, and hopefully one day be a main eventer.
yeah.
And he ended up being a highly regarded main event guy, but it just seemed like WWE wasn't giving him the push he needed to be that main event guy, so he basically had to push himself. And one particular thing that really stood out in my mind was, I don't have the DVD of it, but on the WWE Network, I believe it was, I saw the documentary about CM Punk.
Oh yeah, I got the DVD for sure.
And there was the night Punk beat Cena for the title,
Yeah.
and he took a hiatus for a little while. And Punk was at home and he's kind of, doing his own thing, but he ultimately wasn't happy. And so he became quite good friends with Joey Mercury, and he calls him up and they're having a conversation, and Joey Mercury goes, "Well, what is it exactly do you want?" And Punk goes, "Well, I want change." And Mercury goes, "Well, you're not gonna get any change or make a difference when you're sitting on your ass at home with a WWE title sitting in your refrigerator." It was the truth.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I think what really pissed me off, a couple things pissed me off. You know? And again, it's easier said than done, you know. I want to make change. Well, what kind of change? You know,
Yeah.
you did the pipe bomb.
It was pretty epic.
That was awesome. You know, stick it to the man. My kind of person.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But that was it. Like, there was really no fucking...
You do this epic pipe bomb on Raw, you take the WWE title from Cena, and then you fuck off home for 3 months or whatever the hell it was. And it takes a phone call from one of your best friends to get your ass moving and essentially create the change.
Yeah. You know, and I think that's what's irritating, is that now he's got that lawsuit with the doctor,
Yeah.
and it's like, okay, so what you're saying, because there's two different sides to each story, so it's like, Kane throws him out of the Rumble, then there's like,
Oh, let's rewind.
okay, well, yeah.
Let's rewind that a little bit. It was Royal Rumble 2010. CM Punk wasn't part of the Royal Rumble match. And the match is going on, and at one point, CM Punk took a clothesline from Kofi. And now, there's two sides to this story. One side of the story is, Punk says to the referee, "I think I've got a concussion." And so, there's a conversation go on, and the referee tells Punk, "Eliminate yourself. We'll get you to the back and evaluate you and whatever." And Punk's like, "No, I'll just gather my bearings, take a moment, and, continue on with the match." The other side of the story is, after Punk took the clothesline from Kofi, the doctor noticed that Punk was not right. So he goes over and basically diagnosed that Punk had a concussion. And so the conversation goes along the lines of, well, eliminate yourself, we'll get you to the back, we'll, get to the hospital, whatever, and Punk flat out refused. And then the doctor relayed a message to one of the referees outside of the ring to tell Punk to eliminate himself. And Punk flat out didn't want to do it. And then I think the doctor was able to get a message back to Gorilla Possession to Michael Hayes, and that's when the whole scenario happened with Kane comes out, gets involved, eliminates Punk, and then Punk goes backstage, and I guess he met up with the referee in the trainer's room, probably, and they have a dispute about. Like, Punk pretty much adamantly wanted to continue the match for as long as he could until he got eliminated or whatever, and the doctor, knowingly that Punk would have had a concussion, whether it was a diagnosis the doctor made on his own or Punk told him he thought he had a concussion, is neither here nor there. It's just the overall fact that Punk was basically that stubborn.
Yeah.
That even though he had a concussion, or the assumption was that he had a concussion, he wanted to continue the match. Now, as wrestlers, generally when you get an injury, pretty significant injury, your first instinct is to finish the match, no matter what the circumstances are.
Yeah.
And I guess Punk just had that frame of mind where even though he felt like he didn't feel like himself and there was the suspicion that he had a concussion, he still wanted to carry on because that's just inbred in a wrestler. To finish the match however you can, or do whatever you can. And the doctor just wanted him to eliminate himself, go to the back, get further evaluated, get a proper diagnosis, which probably wasn't a concussion anyways, and then get it taken care of. And Punk just like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, see, you hear a lot of things through the years. So it's hard to know who to believe, because, you know, he left, he did the podcast with Colt Cabana, and of course they're friends.
Well, they've been friends for a number of years.
Oh, yeah. And they just shoot on WWE. And how Punk was wrongfully, treated, I guess. Who fucking knows? I mean, that's not the first time that a wrestler's done that.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure one day he's going to, I guess, realize that he was a yeah, anyways, I know that's how it is.
Yeah, Punk's one of those guys that is very open and honest and a straight shooter, pretty much. Like, he'll say what's on his mind no matter what the consequences might be. There's another situation where Punk, on his lower back, left side, I think it was, there was a couple of lumps. And it was assumed that Punk might have had a staph infection. And the doctor, of course, was like, nobody told me, I wasn't informed. I guess there was like some back and forth messaging between Punk and head office or whatever it was. The doctor was just basically like, I knew nothing about it, nobody told me, I wasn't informed. If I was, I would have evaluated him and given it a proper diagnosis and whatever. And the thing about it is, I guess there was somebody that, I guess, did take a look at it, and because the lumps were minimal size, that they just slapped it off as nothing, and didn't really seem to wanna treat Punk or give Punk a proper diagnosis. They just, nah, he's got a couple of lumps on his back, whatever,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, and then of course he's in a match and he shits himself.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's hard to know who to believe anymore. Like, a few years ago I would have said, well, they fucked him over. But who knows?
It's basically one of those things where, okay, you have Punk's side, you have the doctor's side. The truth is somewhere in the middle, you just gotta find it.
Yeah.
But, do you really need to go to court over it?
No.
I mean, Punk's basically accusing the doctor of being essentially a twat and
Yeah.
not doing his job properly. And there was some comments made by Punk, I believe on the Colt Cabana podcast he did.
Yeah.
And I guess this particular doctor didn't take too kindly to what Punk had to say and filed a lawsuit for harmful something or other.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
And it's like, for fuck's sake, you're going to court over something so stupid.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, you look at that side of the story, but you also look at how I believe he was treated, you know, winning the world title, you know, can't even go to, I don't know if it was No Mercy maybe, or Unforgiven. He's told, well, he's not going to defend, it's going to go to another match.
Yeah.
So basically it was Randy Orton and Legacy, you know, beating them up and
Randy kicking him in the head.
yeah, and so yeah, and then of course you get the WrestleMania where we had to have The Rock and Cena headline,
Yeah.
you know, which is whatever, it is what it is. I just assumed that your main champion gets the fucking main event, but that doesn't always happen, whatever.
Right.
But, you know, you could have had CM Punk retain the WWE title.
Yeah.
They were going to get another one, a better one.
Yeah.
You know, fuck the spinner belt. Of course, he loses out of the Royal Rumble. The Rock wins the title. You know, the next night unveils the new title. And basically, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
CM Punk is history.
More or less.
And don't get me started about his UFC career. Because, once again, you have a show where it's dedicated to CM Punk's training. He's got April with him, AJ Lee. He's going over, he's training and doing whatever.
Training with Duke Rufus and Rufus Sport MMA.
You know, has a match 2 years ago. Fucking loses.
Gets his ass whooped.
Yeah. That's an understatement. And now they're, you know, who knows what's gonna happen.
Well, hey, I got a news flash. CM Punk is going to have another fight coming up.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't remember who it's against, but yeah, Punk is going to be fighting in the UFC again pretty soon, actually. So, and I think, this is just my opinion, is give Punk 1 whole year to train with Duke Rufus and Rufus Sport MMA. Then he has this fight with Mickey Gall. He loses. And then, after he lost, he took the 2 years, I think, to fully train more with Duke Rufus and Rufus Sport MMA to get better. Because, like, he was just new in the business, just started training MMA with Duke Rufus, and having just been his debut fight and only having just 1 year of training under his belt, he knew the basics, but 1 year of training really isn't enough.
No.
I mean, you got a lot of these MMA fighters that train, well, if you're like Hoist Gracie, for example, you're training pretty much from the time you're like 7, 8 years old, maybe.
Wow.
You grew up with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in your blood, essentially, and your family being a highly regarded Jiu-Jitsu family, if you will. You train your whole life, and a lot of other fighters have years of experience and years of training.
Yeah.
And though maybe we'll have started smaller MMA promotions before getting to like the UFC and gain experience and knowledge and several fights before they hit the big time. But Punk being it being his debut fight on the big stage, on the big show, on the biggest promotion in MMA there is, and only having that 1 year of training, I mean, he did okay, but he probably would have fared a little bit better having a little more training. So now that he's had these 2 years off, and I'm sure he's probably worked really hard with Duke Rufus,
Yeah.
who knows how this next fight will go. So,
Okay.
yeah.
You know, going back to his wrestling career, I almost would like to think, and maybe I'm wrong on this, maybe there was a little bit of sabotage. Because you look at the thing you have with Kevin Nash. Now, the reason why, like now I find out that Kevin Nash had a hip problem, so that's why he didn't face CM Punk. Okay, so back then you would have assumed that Triple H wanted to have a match with him himself because of the jealousy, but now that I know, I'm not sure where I heard it, but it was in fact Kevin's knees or hip, whatever, that bothered him, and that's why it was CM Punk versus Triple H. CM Punk not getting the main event, which, you know, as your longest champion, you would assume that would be the idea.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not gonna believe in your wrestlers, then don't fucking hire them.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like, and I was a huge fan of CM Punk, obviously.
Oh, I was too. He's a phenomenal wrestler.
It's just, and he is what I think a professional wrestler should be. And yeah, I know a lot of the old school fans really are into the big jacked up guys that are over 6 foot.
Yeah.
And
6'3", 6'4", 275, 280, 285, 290 pounds of ripped as hell muscles. But you don't need that to be a professional wrestler as long as you're in relatively good shape. You know about the wrestling business, you have experience in wrestling, you have athleticism, you have good mic skills, and you can do whatever you're asked to do.
it's
You're good.
And you look at Bret Hart, though. Well, I mean, he's not short by any means,
Well, no.
but he's an average guy. He's still stacked and whatever, chiseled, but, well, not anymore. But I
No,
mean,
not anymore, but he was in fairly good shape back then.
you look at him and you look at Hogan and all those guys, and it's like, you know, first of all, you look at someone like CM Punk and Bryan Danielson and AJ Styles and Austin Aries, and these are guys, to me, are professional wrestlers. They're straight edge, they work out, they are very good in the ring, I'm not taking anything away from Hogan or Paul White or Undertaker, those guys, but you know, when you have substance issues, yeah, you can overcome that, but
Yeah.
well, looks like the camera died again.
We're back to our usual setup.
Shit. Alright, so I think we got the gist of what we talked about.
Yeah.
You know, we have a lot of these professional wrestlers who basically are almost, you know, not taken seriously in the WWE, in my opinion. I mean, AJ Styles is WWE champion right now,
Yeah.
so it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. I hope that it's gonna stay that way for a little bit. Although, I can't wait to see the finale, hopefully, of AJ and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, the only good match they've had is on SmackDown.
Yeah.
I mean, the rest are the shits, but that's only my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it seems as if their match that they had at Backlash, where they had the double count out, just reminded me of matches they would have in Japan. Just that physical, strong style, get emotion involved in the match. Matches after that were starting to become more American style, you could say.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I kind of expected that. You know, unfortunately, well, who knows. You take a guy like Shinsuke Nakamura, you bring him to North America, and he did really well on NXT.
Yeah.
Now, I'm hoping that he's just not going to be there. Like, give him a title, give him something.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of those guys that really needs a push, and now that he's a heel, and I myself got used to that now,
Yeah.
because just watching New Japan and watching matches and not really knowing, you know, who's a heel and who's a face, Nakamura was a heel.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see what else they could do with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, if he gets the title at Money in the Bank, I'll probably piss myself, but
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is, and I think that I can't wait to see where the future lies for Nakamura, and obviously Samoa Joe needs the title as well at some point, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, that's in the future. The fact now is, who knows?
Yeah.
Because I could talk about how the people in the independent scene that go and to the big leagues are being treated, but the truth of the matter is that you've had them be the champion. You know, you've had AJ Styles almost win every title in WWE
Yeah.
except for the Intercontinental title and the big titles, yeah. You know, I could say the same with Kevin Owens. I mean, so there's good and bad in a lot of it. A lot of people bitch about certain things.
I mean, you said Kevin Owens is the best one. You, dude, you're nowhere near 260.
Oh, that's nice. I honestly don't know how much I weigh, but
Yeah.
that's awesome. Anyway, so I have no idea how much it really cut off the last video, so
Yeah, really.
let's quickly move on to the last topic that I want to talk about. because, and I think we talked a little bit about it too. I know last year we did a video and we touched on it. The whole invasion angle of 2001.
Yeah.
Now, you look at what happened with WCW going into WWF territory.
Yeah.
You got Paul Heyman, who joined after Jerry Lawler was fired.
Right.
Eventually, and then again, various wrestlers like Rhino came in, Rob Van Dam came in, Raven before that, Taz before that.
Yeah.
This whole Monday Night Wars thing that happened, people are kind of like, well, the invasion, but it started with Lex Luger. No, it didn't. Lex Luger was in WCW before WWF.
Yes.
So, to me, there's guys like him, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. Okay, you say they invaded WCW, but you tend to forget Oz and Vinny Vegas and, Diamond Star.
That character Kevin Nash had, it was like a army. He had like camouflage on his face and dressed in camouflage, and he was in a tag team. I can't remember. It was like, I can't remember what it's called. He had that as well.
But could you imagine, as a fan at 17, loyal to the WWF, and thinking in 2001 that after the Survivor Series, I turned on my TV, and for some reason, say WWF lost. Well, what now?
Yeah.
Because, from what I hear from other people, Vince McMahon basically defeated his competition, so therefore he had no more competition. To me, I would never have bought WCW. Or maybe I would, I don't know. Well, WCW was in this shitter to begin with, near the end.
Okay, WCW had two major problems. One, before and after Eric Bischoff, they had no direction whatsoever.
Right.
The other massively major problem was they were throwing away money like it was dirty toilet paper.
Yeah.
Let's say. I mean, well, I can spend a billionaire's money because I can. Spend giving Kevin Nash a lump sum to join WCW, and Scott Hall, and Bret Hart, and British Bulldog,
Jim Neidhart.
Yeah, Jim Neidhart, and
Curtis Beefcake.
all these other guys, and then eventually some of these guys ended up with creative control, which made things even worse.
Yeah.
And then anytime they had an issue with something, we'll throw more money at them, that'll make them happy.
Yeah.
And I remember watching the rise and fall of WCW, and it was like a producer or something went to, I think it was Bessoff, and went like, we're 5 million or 3 million, whatever, dollars in the hole.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, no fucking kidding. You're giving $250,000 to, or whatever, in a contract to wrestlers to join your company. Eventually you're gonna end up
Motherfucker.
in the hole a large lump sum.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. Is it's all about money, and Vince McMahon is a billionaire, or a billionaire, whatever. And the fact is, and I know I've said it before, I understand. You bought WCW, good for you, you bought your competition. It's ECW. fact that ACW was an underground promotion, it was nothing like anybody has ever seen before. And you had to buy that too? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you look at that and you think, you know, now you have nobody to compete with. You are the #1 professional wrestling company out there, you know, until 2002 when TNA comes in. You're not even focused on TNA because, you know, why not? Now you're back to basically square one. You know, you've taken WCW characters like Goldberg and Scott Steiner and basically fed him to Triple H. Goldberg comes back, you know, he had a shitty run in the beginning, kinda, sort of, because he did win the world title. And then he came back last year.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically that finished his career, I guess. Who knows?
For the meantime.
And
You know, you look at it too, before there's even this whole invasion angle and leading up to Survivor Series, you had a lot of guys in WCW that weren't happy with where they were, and, you know, they obviously knew that things were bad in WCW, so they eventually one by one, or a group of them at a time, were leaving WCW.
yeah,
You know, Eddie Guerrero, Chris Benoit, Dean Malenko, Perry Saturn, Rey Mysterio.
Chris Jericho.
Well, actually, I think Mysterio was kind of after the invasion, but, you know, Jericho and probably a few others ended up jumping to WWF because they could get a regular paycheck, get a good amount of money, and also wrestle on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you had Jericho come in, interrupting The Rock during a promo, having a good back and forth, interacting with him. You got, you know, the Radicals forming with Malenko, Saturn, Benoit, and Eddie, and they thrived from there. Then, of course, once the Survivor Series went down, that's when you ended up with Booker T and Rey Mysterio and Mike Awesome, probably.
Yeah.
All these other guys.
Ken Tanaka. It's not his name. Anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think too, when you look at the invasion angle, for that time, you know, Shane McMahon, okay, you had him in the storyline for WCW buying it. It made no sense to me to have, okay, I get it, her husband's gone with a quad injury, why would you have Stephanie McMahon? It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense in ECW.
You got Vince McMahon as the head of WWF. You got Shane buying out WCW. Buying out WCW. Why not have a father-son rivalry that way? I mean, we all know, I'm sure, about Vince and Shane having problems throughout WWF and wrestling each other and all this other shit. Why not keep that going with Shane being the head of WCW and Vince still being the head of WWE? I think it's WWE at that time.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always going to be a family affair. You know, it goes way back to WrestleMania 16. You had to have McMahon's in the main event. Well, I mean, it was Triple H, Big Show, The Rock, and Floyd. But, you know, the McMahons all represented them. And now you got the invasion angle. You got Vince, who's the fucking WWF owner. Then you got Shane McMahon. Then you got Stephanie McMahon.
And Paul Heyman.
And Paul Heyman is there. You know, this would have been a perfect opportunity to bring in Eric Bischoff, but at the same time, Eric Bischoff had sour grapes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever. There it is. Did the invasion angle at the time make any sense? I don't really know, because now, after WrestleMania 17, you've got Austin turn heel. Not long after that, Austin jumped ship after, you know, well, at the main event in Invasion. Joins the Alliance, which you can look at it both ways. A, it sucks, you know, because now I have a reason to hate his guts, and I was just a kid. But then you have Austin working for WCW, ECW, so in a way it kind of made sense a little bit. And then you get Kurt Angle going undercover and joining the Alliance. That made no fucking sense.
Yeah.
You got the Survivor Series, and it is true. You got the Alliance in the main event. You had like maybe 2 wrestlers from the Alliance, you know, that were actually in ECW and WCW. The rest you had Austin, Kurt, Shane McMahon, I think.
No. The Survivor Series teams were Jericho, Brock, Taker, Kane, and I think so. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And then the Alliance was Austin, Kurt, Rhino, I think. No, not Jazz.
Anyways, I mean, it was what it was, and they needed to do something. I guess while Triple H was out of action. I mean, and the thing is too, it's like, after this was all said and done, you still had, you know, the same guys that came in. You know, they still were in the company. You still had Rob Van Dam. You still had William Regal. You still had fucking Rhino and all those guys. So, really didn't change too much. And then, like, after WrestleMania, it turns into WWE.
Yeah.
So, really the invasion angle was, you know, if, let's say, WWF lost, who knows what the fuck would have happened.
Yeah.
Maybe nothing, maybe there would be some change. People always say, well, Vince McMahon didn't have to do that. WWE was big enough. They could have given a much more of a chance, you know. They did everything they could to make sure that they were going to come up the win. Well, who fucking knows? Yeah, because WWF is the biggest company, and that's just the way it is. Like I said, I was always the WWF guy. WCW was always the second banana, you know. ECW, I didn't really know about it until my brother was into it in '98, so kind of the way that is, you know.
I think too, the thing about the whole invasion angle was, it was like Vince McMahon said when the whole documentary came out about the Monday Night Wars. WWE focused on their talent and building them up and giving them characters and giving them rivalries and giving them championships, etc., etc.
Yeah.
WCW's main concern was knocking WWE off his pedestal. You can essentially say the same thing for the invasion.
Yeah.
WWE was rolling along, doing their own thing, not really thinking too much about anything like around invasion or competition and all of that. And then all of a sudden you got WCW coming along and ECW coming along and joining forces for the sole purpose of taking out WWF.
Yeah.
And of course you got Shane and Stephanie. Oh, we couldn't wait for our dad to die to take over the company. We decided to own our own companies, and it's like, fuck off.
Yeah. Well, I have to laugh because watching, at the time, watching the Raw after Survivor Series, and Vince calls Shane and Stephanie to the ring, and Stephanie's like, Daddy, I didn't want you to die. That was Shane's thing. And my mom comes in the room and is like, what the hell is that shit?
Yeah, really.
It's like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening now.
Yeah.
But the thing of the, and you know, we'll talk about this another time, but I don't know if we ever touched on it, censorship in WWE, and the fact that they went from a wrestling company, and you know, it's more like a soap opera, and you know, all that kind of shit, but we could discuss that another time. Yeah, that's one quick thing let's talk about. The fact that, and it's been said, Kayfabe is dead. And I kind of agree with that. Because you look at back in the day when, you know, even when we were kids, I guess, you know, you didn't see, you know, the bad guy as just an everyday person.
Yeah.
You didn't see a bad guy go and do charity work or anything like that, or just whatever. And the thing with the WWE network is, and I don't know any kid that watches it except for the pay-per-view, but it just seems like all that shit just went out the window, you know?
Yeah, WWE Network has really pulled back the curtain on kayfabe.
Yeah, so it's like, and I can understand it in a way, but you look at it this way, now the magic is gone. Because now you're just saying, well, these guys are actors.
Yeah.
It's like when you see Arnold Schwarzenegger coming down the street and he's not going to be the Terminator because, you know, he's a fucking actor.
Right.
You know, now you want kids to go, oh, well, these guys don't really want to kick each other's ass because, you know, they're nice and they do charity. Whatever happened to, let's keep that fucking shit seriously.
Yeah.
You know, let's keep the heels. You know, when they go down the street, you know, they don't talk to nobody. Or maybe that they don't. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. I think that there's a fine line between a lot of things. Because if you go to a show now, your kid's not going to chew. They're not going to boo this person because they just pulled a puppy out of a fire. I don't know. It's like, you could probably explain it better.
One thing that was a crucial thing is heels and your faces were separate until they had matches and rivalries or whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't really see them interact with each other. You didn't really see them go from town to town together, or, you know, the faces would go to town by themselves, and the heels would go to a town by themselves, and, you know, they'd have dinner separate from each other, whatever. Ever since the WWE Network came along, I mean, you've got Table for Three, you've got Ride Along, you've got Total Divas, you've got Total Bellas, you got, on YouTube, you got Up Up Down Down, which is, Xavier Woods, your Austin Creed's video game YouTube show, shout out to him.
Yeah.
And got basically the wrestlers, whether they're faces or heels, laughing, joking, interacting with each other, doing all this stuff that you didn't see before, or even be with their families.
Yeah.
None of this stuff you saw before. Like, okay, back in the day, you might have a heel talk about a face's family, their kids, their wife, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what would ignite the rivalry or keep the rivalry going, whatever.
Right.
Now, because you see Daniel Bryan and Brie with Birdie,
Yeah.
or Instagram post from Miz with his wife Maurice and their little girl, and Unfiltered, you had Randy Orton with his wife, and Table for Three, you'd have like Hillbilly Jim and Ricky Steamboat and Pat Patterson.
Yeah.
And various other ones. It basically takes the heel and face concept and leaves it solely for in the ring.
Yeah.
Not just in the ring and traveling from town to town and all this other stuff. Like, even with Ride Along, you've got like Miz with Dolph Ziggler, you got Kurt Angle with Big Show, you'd have Mark Henry with Jericho, you'd have, well, the New Day together, or you'd have, I'm trying to think of a good example of like a heel and a face together. I've watched quite a number of episodes of
Yeah.
Ride Along too. Oh boy,
The Fashion Police abusive.
yeah,
Sort of, kind of, yeah. And, it's also like, okay, so if you're gonna have them be regular people, whatever, even on Total Divas,
oh yeah,
they call them Rusev, they call them Lana, they call them, Daniel Bryan, really? Because they're being their regular self. Why don't they just be Bryan Danielson and CJ Parker or whatever? CJ Perry. There's really, if you're gonna do that, don't half-ass it. Call them by their real name. But, I mean, it is what it is. I just think that, a little kid. I mean, I saw something the other day that was pretty nice, Alexa Bliss was talking to a little girl in an assembly about an eating disorder that had. And I thought that was really nice.
yeah.
So now, I don't know, I mean, when those kids watch her on TV be a badass or whatever, it's like, I don't even know if the magic is gone. Like, that's just how it is. I mean, that's my take from it anyways. The magic is pretty much gone. I mean, you're gonna know the person anyway. Like, I know when I was a kid, and I knew that they didn't want to kill each other, but I also didn't take away anything. Like, I didn't go, oh, well, this is cool. I'm not gonna ruin it for anybody else. Because they didn't do that. They didn't, like, show any of that, They didn't show The Undertaker be out of character to meet little kids, or whatever.
I think really the only time you really saw the Undertaker, well, maybe not the only time, but one of the rare times you saw Undertaker out of character was like after WrestleMania when he lost to Roman on the 24 series, or even driving to the event itself where he's talking in the car, or even on the way to the 25th anniversary of Raw in Manhattan.
Many of his, interviews
Yeah.
that he does for DVDs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But this has been a good show. I think we had some good topics.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll do that next week. And if you have any suggestions, comment down below. Subscribe to my channel, because I fucking don't know why I'm getting low again, but whatever. I like my videos. I know I don't say this shit. I haven't said it since I started. But yeah, you know, if you like what you see, subscribe and whatever. And
Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe, share.
yeah. Anyway, so for me and Matt, this is Killer Kyle, and I'll see you